Hi everyone, this is StariAri and I'm here to give you guys your pick a card. This time we're going to be focusing on Egyptian goddesses energy, and so whatever comes in for you guys for this week, I highly recommend that you guys connect to this Egyptian goddess in particular to guide you for the week, okay? So especially because of the Virgo full moon energy, I do recommend that you guys work with this particular goddess for your full moon rituals, because I feel like they have the energy that you guys need in particular to manifest whatever it is that you desire with this Virgo full moon, okay? So when I say working with them, you could just welcome them into your, presence by either having a picture of them and making a little shrine for them in your home, or if you don't have a picture of them, just have something that represents them or their energy, maybe a flower or a crystal, or even drawing an item that represents them, such as like a lotus blossom, or even like a crown, or whatever, like a heart, or things like that that symbolizes the goddess. You could also Google, their symbols to figure out which one is specifically, I would say, linking you to the goddess. Okay, so again, you can do it however you feel like doing it, and of course have an offering bowl for them. So this could be something like from your kitchen, like offering them some treats. It could be sugary treats, or it could be healthy treats, whatever. Honey is a big one that I would recommend if you guys don't have anything else. Honey or syrup or something like that, or even sugar. I feel like they definitely will enjoy that. That's how I do it. When I was like not prepared, I would say, like specifically to work with a goddess, I would always offer them sugars, any type of sugary treat, like a candy, a chocolate, or even sweets, like anything like that. So if you guys don't have things right away, like if you don't have any honey in your cupboard, then you could just offer them any type of candy that you might have, okay? Like any type of chocolate, things like that. So anyway, I want you guys to do this for your full moon ritual, because we are focusing on the feminine energy for this moon in particular, as we are going to be in the full moon in Virgo, and the full moon in Virgo represents the body, mind, and spirit connection, and it also represents the feminine energy that is used to heal all three of these things and infuse them together. So I feel like there's going to be tremendous strides for you guys, in particular when it comes to your health, surrounding your health with your physical body, your mental states and emotional states, to include your spiritual connection. It's going to be definitely enhanced with this full moon in Virgo, because we are in Pisces season. You guys probably have more insight now, more downloads, more dreams, I would say, coming in from your guides from the spirit world. Okay, so I highly recommend that you do that. So let's go ahead and begin. We have pile number 1 here, number 2, number 3, number 4, and number 5. So go ahead and take a few minutes right now, meditate or connect to your guides, pause this video, and then ask which goddess you should work with for this week, especially for the full moon in Virgo. Okay, you guys, if you chose pile number 1, you chose the goddess Mat. So this is the goddess that you should be working with for this full moon in Virgo energy. Like I stated before, go ahead and get some more information about her through the internet. Possibly gather a feather, like a white feather if you can find one, or if you don't, something white, okay? Something white that signifies purification, truth, harmony, and justice, okay? Whatever it is that you gather for her, or even an offering to her, I highly recommend that you do that. Create a little altar or a shrine for her in particular to help you with your manifestation ritual for this full moon in Virgo, okay? So a little background on her. Ma'at was the goddess of truth, justice, and harmony. She was also associated with the balance of things on the earth plane. So meaning like as above, so below, that theme, as within, so without, to include making sure that we are in harmony with the universal truth or universal laws, okay? Ma'at was also the daughter of the sun god Ra. And you could see it in the hieroglyphs that many pharaohs would frequently, make offerings to her. And then, of course, making sure that they are, preserving harmony and justice on the earth plane, because as rulers, that is one of their main things, right? So anyway, let's go ahead and see what messages she has for you in particular. All right, so we have the Six of Spring, okay? So this is energy of fire, transmutation, and also fire can be purifying and transformative. I also feel like the number 6 itself can assist you with really making choices, or you've probably look back at the choices that you made that gotten you this far in your life, especially because you're ready to receive new success and rewards and abundance, okay? So this is why it's really important for you to focus on Ma'at and her wisdom and her assistance with the balance that is necessary for you to bring all of the things that you've ever wanted into your life. Equilibrium, harmony, understanding the universal laws, like whatever you attract comes to you, that specifically to really understand, okay? And this is talking about abundance. We're talking about money. Okay, we're talking about success in your career, in your goals, also success in a relationship. If you have issues with any of these things, or if you have a negative outlook on any of this stuff, we have to understand why. Why is this causing you to have problems in this present moment? How is your relationship between you and money? How is your relationship between you and love? Are you attracting certain types of partners, karmic cycles still? Or are you breaking free finally from these things and finally getting who you desire and who you want in your life, So this is all about doing the inner work, as well as avoiding cycles that are repetitive, you know what I mean? Like really looking at the red flags here and really choosing not to fall back into those karmic cycles anymore. I know it's kind of difficult, especially when it's a new relationship and you're getting to know someone, and then you're like, oh wait, this person reminds me of this person in the past, but I shouldn't judge them because they're a totally different person. But really take account of the red flags too. If there's more red flags with this person, or you feel uneasy, really listen to your intuition about them, okay? You're not being unfair to them. You're being, fair to yourself and your wants and needs and desires in a relationship or in a partnership, okay? So if you're tired of the same old, type of cycle within relationships, then really listen to yourself, okay? Really listen, because you're the only one that knows what's best for you. Honestly, you really are. Anybody from the outside looking in can definitely tell you this or that about what they perceive of the person, but ultimately it's your choice to whether or not to listen to your own intuition about this relationship and the trajectory that it's going towards, okay? And the same thing can be applied to your finances, to your career, you know, to your goals. And, you know, if it doesn't feel right, 100% right for you, or you feel like somebody else has, you know, their hands on the wheel, then just make the choices that are better for you, okay? We could always think back later and just say, you know what, I think that was a right choice to make because I avoided all of this craziness, right? So that's what Mont wants you to do, is like really understand your intuition and balance the things that need to be balanced in your life, but also be willing to receive, you know, intuition and foresight about these situations, and be open to assistance from the higher realms, from Mott herself and from your other guides too, okay? It doesn't mean that you have to listen 110%. It just means that you have to really weigh your options here. And that's what it's all about. Because she, you know, she does weigh your heart at the end of life here. So it's important to really understand, you know, what you really want to build while you're here. Okay. So if you have been doing all this stuff, then that's why this card has come up with the Six of Spring, telling you like, good job on everything that you've been doing. Good job on focusing on you, on focusing on your needs, on really creating the life that you desire. Okay. So moving on, we have Star Family. So being a part of a team, this is what the whole energy is about. So seeing how your life affects other people and seeing how other people can affect you as well. It's really important to understand, you know, group dynamics, especially, you know, especially right now, especially what you're seeing, you know, the nonstop separation games going on in this realm, and really focusing on your people, on who you are here to grow with, you know, as well as the group or your friendships, even your family that you chose to come into this world with, you know. And so what can you guys build together? What type of success are you seeing for your group? You know, what a type of abundance are you guys heading towards? You know, what's going on in these group dynamics that needs to be addressed or that needs to be praised? You know what I mean? That's what this is all about. And even discovering how you guys have been together as souls, you know, in past lives, or even with your star family. Like, are they a part of that star lineage too? Because I'm sure like 110% that they are, okay? So really being a part of a team and choosing to do things together is super important for the success of your life, because we don't just come in here as lone wolves, you know what I mean? We don't just, you know, succeed without the assistance of others, okay? And it's not saying that we should rely on people more than be independent of ourselves or anything like that. It's more of like balancing, like Mott said, balancing, you know, so within, so without, and the interconnectedness that we have with other souls in our lives, you know, understanding where we stand, understanding them, understanding how we are all allied, you know, in this whole, you know, material realm, and how we can build that perfect life that we desire for everyone involved. Okay. So that's what we're focusing here, like on future goals, I would say, especially if you are getting like the money and abundance that you desire. How are you going to share that with others? Are you going to invest in somebody? Or you're going to invest in your dream and assist other people with investing in your dream too, or, you know, some type of collaboration going on? What's going on here? So that's what we want to focus on. What are you going to invest in? How are you going to create this with other people? What role are you going to take, or what role are they going to take in this success? Okay, so it's really about building a community around your dream or their dreams, you know, collaboration, I would say. Okay, so it's super important for this week for you to reflect on. And even with your full moon ritual, it's like, what do you really desire in life? Do you desire a partnership of equals, of mutual respect, of mutual understanding, and wanting the same goals in life, you know, building a family off of that? Or do you desire a career where you are the boss, or you collaborate with other people to create something that is, you know, super successful for everyone, to include, you know, helping, you know, humanity as a whole? Or do you desire to, you know, create something that will be very beneficial for other people, such as health wise, because we're focusing on health here, due to the full moon and Virgo that focuses on your health, focusing on mental health, focusing on physical health, focusing on spiritual health too, right? So what are you trying to build here, right? And that's the focus that Mott wants you to really understand of your mission in particular. Because if you're watching this right now, if you chose Mott, is because you have a big opportunity here with this full moon to really actualize the dreams that you really want to you know, manifest here. Okay, because you have a bigger picture type of dream here, all right, that you want to really help the world. You want to really shift consciousness. You want to really help people be more harmonious, be more fair, you know, whatever it takes. I would say that's what I feel like you in particular are focusing on focusing on the bigger picture, on how you can contribute to society as a whole, to make changes for the better. Okay, so that's all I have for you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your week. Bye-bye. Okay, you guys, if you chose pile number 2, you chose the goddess Isis. So you're going to be working with Isis for the full moon, like I stated before. So gather things that she likes in particular. For example, she really likes, and it's actually shown in a lot of hieroglyphs, blue lotus blossoms or whatnot. If you can't find those, then that's anything blue. I would say, like any type of lily or things like that. So whatever it is that you are intuitively told to do, go ahead and listen to that too. Or you could Google anything that her worshippers used to give as gift to her altars. Okay, and like I stated before, it could be sugary stuff like, you know, honey. It could be milk and honey. It could be, you know, whatever it is that you think the goddess would prefer. Okay, so make sure you create a shrine or altar for her. If you don't have pictures of her, you can easily Google like her symbols, things like that, and draw them out or write them out in a piece of paper, you know, things like that. So you can be very thrifty with this stuff. Okay, you don't have to go out and buy all kinds of things. You could just find things around your home, things, and you know, use them for the altar. Okay, so let's go ahead and see a little bit of information that I have for you guys about the goddess herself. So Isis was a protective goddess. She used powerful magical spells to help people in need. Isis was the wife of Osiris and the mother of Horus. And a lot of people, you know, in ancient Egypt believed that the pharaoh was considered the living Horus, or Isis was very, you know, was like kind of like direct celestial mother to the pharaohs too, you know. So yeah, and there's a lot of like protective amulets that are called Isis knots in particular, that symbolize, you know, the goddess's protection over the wearer, and you know, all this good stuff. So moving on, let's see what the goddess has in store for you guys for this week. what we should be focusing on with manifesting for the full moon in Virgo. So we have the Prince of Winter, and the Prince of Winter represents a time of enthusiasm, fun, as well as youth, and really seeking, I would say, intellectualism over erratic behavior. It's kind of like really having the focus on what you desire, making a plan of action towards, that goal. Okay. We're also being told that we have to expect great and tremendous changes in our lives in order for these goals to be actualized. So Isis usually helps you with transformation. With her magic, she tells you that you are always protected in the choices that you make every step of the way. So there should not be any fear surrounding the changes that you want and desire for your life. Okay. She also states that a lot of people, especially during these uncertain times when it comes to our finances because of the pandemic, she's saying that, this is a great opportunity for a lot of us to really sit back and observe our own lives and really focus on the betterment of them, especially if we have families that are relying on us financially speaking, or to become that support system for them. Really understanding where we stand in our own family, dynamics too. Are you being pushed into a more, I would say, central focus position here? Are you the head of the household now? Are you the one that is making, more money than your spouse? Or are you a single parent, or are you just single? What are we doing here at this present moment? It's a real important thing for us to ask. And what do we desire to do for the future? And so Isis will definitely assist you with that, to make a plan, and to move forward with it too, without hesitation or fear, to really cover all your bases. She's very thorough. Like when I work with her, she reminds me of little things here and there that should be addressed. She tells me, oh, don't forget to do this, or don't forget to do that. Tying up loose ends is really important for her. But overall, she really helps me understand that no matter what choices I make in my life, it is as it should be for me and on my path. Okay. And that's what I want to tell you guys too. Even if you feel like the choices that you made were mistakes, I'm telling you right now, Isis, it's like, no, they're not mistakes. They are, nuggets of wisdom that we, learn, along the way in order for our souls to grow and expand. And so that being said, this full moon, working with Isis will help you with balancing that, with really focusing on your goals and doing things for the long haul. Okay. So making sure that the Prince of Winter doesn't interfere with impulsive energy, meaning like maybe you're going about like changing your life here and there, doing things out of impulse, doing things without, knowing what the consequences are. Or maybe you felt like you made a choice and you're just like, damn it, now I'm stuck with this choice. And now I need to, maneuver my way out of here somehow, right? And that might have been an impulsive choice because it came out of like lack or fear that if you didn't take that choice or the opportunity that you were going to miss out on something big. And that's okay if you made those choices because you're learning from that, you're learning that it is more important to make wiser choices in the future so that you don't get into this situation again. So that's why the Prince of Winter comes up. It's like he's all about having fun, doing things that feel good at that moment. And there's nothing wrong with that. But again, what are you learning from these things, right? What are you learning from your perceived mistakes? And so Isis is telling you, let's go ahead and refocus that energy and say, you know what? I learned from this. And now I desire to move into something much more better for me, you know, and for my future, especially because we're planning ahead. We're planning for the long haul here with Isis's energy. Okay. And the rebirth cycle too is like endings and beginnings. That's something that we are learning from these choices that we've made. Okay. So moving on, we have jump in. And this is, you know, saying yes to changes. It's really important for us to have the focus that Isis is trying to help us with planning things ahead, but also not being stuck in the planning phase forever, okay? And that's one thing that you'll learn with this Virgo energy too, with this full moon in Virgo, where they overanalyze things and then remain stuck in things because they're fearful that they don't have everything covered or that they might be missing something before they make those changes that are pretty much gonna be influential for 10 years down the road or more. Okay, so really understanding why you want to make the change, how you're going to make it, what's the proper steps to take, and what's the plan of action if things are more impulsive and you are like, you know what, okay, I chose this because of this, or I chose this because of fear of the unknown, or because I thought that I was going to miss out on something big, right? So that's what we're focusing on. It's like the changes that you want to bring in, making sure that it's not just because you're tired of people or because you're tired of your life going in this direction, but it's also because you really desire to refocus your energy and bring in whatever it is that you want, such as love, abundance, prosperity, you know, all that good stuff. Okay. So working with Isis will help you with this for this full moon in Virgo. So that's all I have for you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week. Bye-bye. All right, you guys, if you chose pile number 3, you chose Hathor, the goddess Hathor, to work with. And I believe it's really important for you guys, and in particular, if you're having troubles with love or with relationships that are, you know, focused on unconditional love or you know, partnerships as well as soulmates. And this could be, you know, platonic relationships too, such as your friendships or your family members, things like that. So this particular reading is going to focus on that. Okay. So Hathor, is going to be assisting you with the full moon in Virgo energy. And she's going to be really, to me, I feel like this is like the perfect energy for this full moon in Virgo, because we are supposed to be really analyzing, you know, our relationships at this time and what works and what doesn't work within them, you know, and what our desires really are for the future of the relationship, as well as our commitments to that future or to really accomplishing certain goals together, okay, with the people involved in this, okay? So a little bit of background. So Hathor was also a protective goddess, but she was also a goddess of love and joy. Hathor was considered the wife of Horus in a lot of legends, and sometimes was thought as the mother of the pharaohs too. And so with that being said, we are focusing on motherly love here, and as well as romantic love, okay? We're focusing on divine feminine love here and how it assists the divine masculine in boosting his own acceptance of himself, as well as of the divine feminine around him, okay? So this is definitely a real, like, I would say, concentration on balancing the divine masculine and the divine feminine within us and within our relationships, okay? So that being said, I want you guys to build a shrine or some type of like altar to Hathor. And if you guys don't have pictures of Hathor in particular, but you do have or understand what she likes, such as what you can bring her as like a gift or an offering, then do that. You don't have to necessarily have a picture of her, or you could even Google, you know, her symbols or what her favorite, you know, offering was, or if she likes flowers, or, you know, or even draw a little heart. Like that's what I would do. Like if I was like low on funds and I didn't have, you know, the resources necessary to really make it like this big thing for her, as long as you put in the effort and the intention is there, she's definitely going to be connecting with you. Okay, so that being said, let's focus on what her message is for you guys for this full moon's energy. So here we go. Six of Autumn. So this is all about coming back to really understanding, you know, your focus, your energetic focus. Okay, so if you've had trouble with money, trouble in relationships when it comes to finances, if you've been the head of the household for a very long time, or possibly need someone else to step up in this role, this is what the Six of Autumn represents. It's the troubles that you've had in the past are finally subsiding here. And it's true, because when I think about my own experiences with finances, the problem was that I wasn't taking the steps to make this better for my life. You know what I mean? I was focusing on a project that was, you know, clearly not, you know, working out for me. And so, or like the path that I took was clearly not working out for me because of this pandemic. For example, a lot of us finally saw this, you know, during this pandemic, that wherever we were at career-wise, or even relationship-wise, it was definitely coming to an end, you know, during the pandemic. And so that being said, with my experience, when I refocused my energy on the true desire that I wanted for my future life and for my family, then and shifted that by taking action on that, that's when my flow of abundance began to just come in. Like, holy freaking, you guys don't even understand. Like, it was just like a freaking reset button happened, you know? And so that being said, you can work with Hathor to assist you with that, to assist you in shifting, you know, your mind, and as well as taking action on what it is that you want to bring in, and finally getting that reset that you needed from the universe. And so that's what the Six of Autumn represents, is you getting that reset, you know, you getting all of the good things that you've done all throughout these whole entire, like, I would say, phases of your life, or even your entire life, all of the good that you've given back to other people, all that love, all of the unconditional love, all of the work and the effort to maintain your home, to make people happy, you know, to support people financially, things like that, is coming back to you. Okay, so the only thing you need to do is take that leap of faith and really focus on what you want to create this lifetime. Okay, what type of relationships you want with your family members, with your children if you have them, with your spouse if you have one, with a future partner if you desire one. You know, what is it that you truly want in life? What is it do you truly want out of a relationship, out of a partnership, you know, things like that. And with Hathor being, you know, technically the goddess of love and, you know, beauty and all that awesome stuff, and joy, of course, we are focusing on your joy. Okay, we are focusing on what makes you happy. Okay. And if it is to help others and to be supportive of others, then that's perfectly fine. But don't neglect yourself either, okay? Don't neglect your needs. Don't neglect your wants or desires either, okay? But anyway, so that's what we want to focus on for this full moon in Virgo, manifesting your joy, okay? So Moving on, we have the cosmic heart. So the cosmic heart is the energy that you can use for this change in your life. We're devoting the energy towards happiness and joy in your life to include, you know, within your relationships, when your intimate relationships, within your romantic relationships, within your unconditional love focused relationships with yourself, as well as with others, okay? And so making your life, you know, how you desire it to be helps you with focusing your energy on the goals that you want, you know, focusing your energy on people that you love. If you are distraught, if you are upset, if you are lacking in some area of your life, then your focus isn't on love, right? Your focus isn't on joy. It is on stress, on fear, on lack. Okay. So that's why Catherine wants you to really, really shift that mindset and take action on what you feel you need to take action on in order for you to make the changes that you really desire. Okay. So if you need to have a conversation with someone in your life, maybe they are not putting forth an effort that you really want them to do for your relationships to succeed, you know, choose to do that. Or maybe you're trying to have you know, more stability in your life. Maybe you want a different career, or you want to focus on something that is gonna bring more stability to you and your family. And so start looking for different jobs, you know, or even within your own job, start looking for opportunities to make more money. Okay. So raises, different positions of authority, you know, whatever. And even if you have to move out of that company into a different one or become your own boss, then start looking at ways to do that. Okay. So that you can refocus that energy into positive thinking, into positive manifestation, okay, of your desires. So that's all I have for you guys for this reading. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week. Bye-bye. Okay, you guys, if you chose pile number 4, you chose the goddess Bast or Bastet. Whatever you pronounce it, however you pronounce it, is perfectly fine for you. Okay, so I know you can't really see her, but she's right here. So anyway, so for this full moon, I want you guys to focus on her energy and bringing her into your home, because she is technically the Egyptian goddess of the home and you know, domestic life, and a protective energy too for the home. And so anyway, I want you guys to do that and to build her a shrine or an altar which focuses on her energy or what it is that represents her. And if you guys don't have items in, you know, at your disposal, such as like gemstones or even little symbols with the goddesses, you know, I would say goddesses symbols in your home, like something like this, it's okay. You can make it out of paper, okay? You could draw a symbol, and you could Google her symbols too. You could draw that symbol and that represents her. You could also, you know, find things in your pantry, for example, to add to your altar, to give her as like a gift or an offering too. So I would highly recommend that you do that. And your altar doesn't have to be super fancy. You don't have to go and waste your money or spend your money on crazy stuff. Like, this stuff is like super expensive, I know, but you can easily just use things around your home, okay, to represent the altar. All right. She's not picky, you guys. Goddesses and gods are not picky. They are way beyond, you know, the material stuff. But because this is supposed to be a representation of the goddess and the connection that we can have with her, it helps us, you know, subconsciously connect in that way, because we're human still. Okay. So anyway, let's give you a little bit of information about Bast's role, or her role as an Egyptian goddess. So she was, again, like I said, you know, the goddess of the home and domestic life. She was also the goddess of fertility and childbirth and women's secrets, okay? And she was also a goddess of cats. So if you have a feline friend, you can easily have that feline friend represent the goddess too, okay? So for her in particular, there's a lot of different points of view with her energy. Like they always, like the Egyptians believed her to be kind and gentle and loving and nurturing and more motherly. And then, of course, she had a different side to her, that the pharaohs will use her in battle, and she was a war goddess, you know, things like that. But, you know, in ancient Egyptian mythology, that changed into a different goddess altogether. So right now we're focusing on the nurturing aspect of the goddess, and then we'll, you know, in later pick up cards or whatever, if you didn't choose this and you chose another one, you'll see that the other image comes up as well, okay? So anyway, we're gonna see what her message is for you guys, okay? So here we go. So the 10 of Winter. So the 10 of Winter represents the ending of a cycle, okay? It's also an air quality to it. So this is all about resolutions, you know, and a cycle coming to an end. A difficult situation finally, you know, ending pretty much for you guys. And feeling like you, whatever it is that you desire to manifest in your life is finally coming to fruition. And so we're focusing mainly on the home and home life and the foundation that you're building your home from, okay, or on, okay? So Bass tells me, like, and tells you as well, that it is important for us to really delegate, you know, roles and responsibilities within our home, especially if we're feeling overwhelmed with emotions or financial situations. It's super important for us to really ask for assistance here, okay? That's how things end. That's how a cycle in that, I would say, in that particular aspect of your life ends, okay? When we finally ask for assistance. I feel like this has a lot to do with finances, you know, responsibility with that. I feel like you probably took a lot, you know, due to this pandemic, and you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed with that. And so asking, if you are in a relationship, asking for assistance from your other half, or even from family members, if you're not in a relationship, asking for assistance, like, hey, you know, at this time I'm having difficulties with paying for this bill, or I'm having difficulties with childcare, or, you know, whatever that is. Ask for some help, you guys. You know, you have to ask, because if we think that we're just here doing things on our own, or we don't have a support system, we're going to be, you know, surprised when we finally speak up about our problems and what we're going through, that someone's actually going to step in and help us, okay? They won't know to step in and help unless you talk about it, you know, unless you say, hey man, I'm really having a tough time right now. You know, that's why it's important for us to communicate, okay? So that's what Bastet wants you to do, is communication is key here in order for you to really refocus or really delegate responsibilities in your home, okay? And if you have kids that are older, for example, and you come home from working like long hours, asking your children to help out around the house, like cleaning something, picking up their room, you know, gardening or whatever, you know, out here we have snow, so shoveling snow, you know, whatever it is, it'll help you, especially because you're coming home exhausted and not being able to do much. Even if you have like little ones, you could tell them, hey, let's tidy up, you know, let's pick up your toys, you know, things like that. And so it's really important for us to teach children to be responsible for themselves, and to really help you out too, because that's how we instill this need, or this desire to be helpful or to be productive in a group setting, in a family setting, and in society, you know? And so it's not like you're forcing them to, you know, work a second job or you know, things like that. It's more like giving them responsibility, delegating chores, okay? So that's what she wants you to do, is like, you know, whatever relief you need, go out there and communicate that, okay? Don't just hold everything in, or don't just say, oh, I have to do it. I have to do everything, right? Because when we do that, then we become, you know, stressed out. And then we get into situations where our mind is only focused on the negative, or where we're just like, God, I wish I had help, or things like that. So Basta's like, you do have help. You know, you do have help. You just need to ask for it. You just need to communicate this, okay? So moving on, we have your life is a canvas. So this is all about manifestation, okay? Manifesting what you desire. It's definitely at your fingertips, all right? Again, let people help you, okay? And for this full moon and Virgo in particular, we're focusing on health here, okay? We're focusing on physical health, mental health, and spiritual connection. And if all three of these are out of whack, or if one of them is lacking, or something's wrong with one of them, then we are not able to balance ourselves, you know, in a way that we are able to receive assistance or receive manifestation from the universe. So that's why it's important for you, like Bastet said, to communicate, especially if you need help. Okay. And that as soon as that happens, then you get into this cycle of like, finally something better is coming, or I'm moving towards a better life, you know. And then of course you get the manifestation, you know, energy coming in that you can use to really, create the life that you desire here. Okay. So that's all I have for you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week. Bye-bye. Okay, you guys, if you chose pile number 5, you chose the goddess Sekhmet. I know I don't have her image here, but because this is an Egyptian image, I am using it in replacement of her image. So anyway, Sekhmet in particular, we're focusing on what's going on in your life that needs a little bit of healing, okay? What's going on in your life that needs you to be, you know, more determined, as well as needs you to really combat this situation, okay? Sekhmet was the goddess of war as well as healing, so she had a dual energy here, okay? She was definitely someone that you use to help you with defeating your enemies, or even defeating the mindset of not following your desires, or being fearful of something, such as changes in your life, or even fearful of connecting to the spirit realm, fearful of confrontations with people, you know, things like that. So she really does represent this energy. So if you think about Sekhmet, you think about like war energy, but you also think about the aspect of healing. So I honestly, to be honest, I feel like she represents the planet Mars, but at the same time, the planet Pluto. Like, I feel like there is a combination of forces here with her divine feminine energy, which is, you know, the divine feminine energy of healing, but also the divine feminine energy of destruction, of change, okay? So through like difficult situations, I would say, but they're all good, okay? Everything is supposed to be this way in order for our souls to grow from it, okay? So if you chose this pile, there's probably a situation that you're going through that's maybe very difficult for you to move away from it. I feel like there's a little bit of chaos in it. You know, maybe there is a relationship that is a little bit toxic that you might need to address. Or maybe there is a situation at work where you desire to progress, but you're feeling blocked by your management or something like that, something that you need to fight for, right? Or maybe there's even a situation when it comes to like society. Like you have this desire to assist in the changes that are necessary for society to grow in harmony, and you're like, you know what, I need to focus on what can I do to fight for the rights of others, you know, things like that. Whatever's going on, she'll assist you with this, okay? And so building a shrine to her, or building like an altar that represents her energy so that you can focus on it and connect to her, will be something that I really recommend for you guys to do, especially for this full moon in Virgo. We're focusing on balance for this full moon, balancing the mind, the body, and the spirit, you know? And so she's definitely going to assist you with this. If you need healing in these aspects of your, you know, especially your physical body or your mental health or even your emotional health, then she can help you with that too, you know, really uncovering the truth behind the disease to begin with, you know, or behind the unbalanced energy within these bodies. Okay, so focusing on her energy, making an altar for her that represents her. You don't have to go out there and buy new things or anything like that. You could just easily Google what represents her. Like maybe there's flowers or the color or even like you know, gifts you know, that you can create, or offerings that you can get from your pantry, you know, whatever it is, just research that, okay? And or you could even draw something in a paper, like a symbol that represents her, okay? So I would just say you don't have to spend your money if you don't want to, okay? Make sure you're as thrifty as possible, and all that matters is the intention behind that, okay? So let's see what she has to tell us. So we have the 5 of Autumn. So this is definitely about reaching out and taking action, okay? So if you're feeling like you want changes in your life, we really need to focus on why. We really need to see what steps you can take in order for those changes to commence. We also need to see why you want them, right? Like, what is it that you desire? Why do you want to change this in your life? What's happening here? Like, what are we going through that might be difficult, you know, or might be something that we just want out of, you know, we just want to grow out of, we want the cycle to end, right? So if it's something like a relationship thing, where you might be in a relationship that is not harmonious anymore, or you might be feeling like you're trapped or you're stuck or unloved in some way, then let's see why, okay? Let's ask ourselves, like, what's going on? Like, what is our partner doing? Or what are they not doing? What are they saying, or what are they not saying? You know, things like that. And then finally having the opportunity, or actually making the opportunity to talk to our partners about these situations, to talk about our desires, to talk about how we feel. That's important, okay? And then when we talk about career, if we are not happy with the career that we are in or the money that we're making, why? What's going on? Are we not getting raises? Are we not getting positions that we desire? Is it management? Is it the issue with management? How can we change this? How can we communicate this? You know, things like that. Do we have to go through human resources for this? You know, what's going on, right? We have things that we can change in our careers that might be very difficult because you might feel like, oh, I might be bullied into shutting up, or I might be bullied into like accepting the wages that I have to accept, you know, things like that. So what's really happening here? We have different approaches that we can make. Like here in the United States, you can easily, especially if you're working in the medical field or any other business that is like big corporation, you could easily make a report online to the Better Business Bureau or to whatever other, you know, places that will come in and inspect the or audit these places, because it's really important for us to do that, because sometimes, you know, we are told, oh, you can't change things, or your money is never going to change because this is coming from corporate greed. But it can change if we make these complaints, you know, and it's not supposed to be negative. It's supposed to be focused on positive changes. Okay. And so we can do that. We have the power to do that here in the United States. I don't know other countries, but here you definitely have the power to make a change. Okay. If you really, really desire to. So that's what we're focusing on taking action here. Okay. What's the problem? What's the solution? And how can we take action towards coming into a solution or resolution within our careers, within our relationships, okay? And so the Five of Autumn, that's what this card asks you to do, is like really reach out for some assistance, really focus on aligning yourself with people who really desire a change, or who want to make strides to make things better, more fair for others, you know? So that's what it is, okay? Even when it comes to money, it's like, how can we cooperate with our, you know, with the people that we work with in order for a change to happen with our money, you know, for us to get a raise, so that it could be more supportive of our lifestyle, or of our, you know, pretty much our foundation, okay, our families, things like that. All right. So moving on, we have cracked open. So surrendering to the changes in life, or surrendering to life itself, or to the universe, and to the guidance that we need to have at this time, is really important. The whole hitting rock bottom, you don't have to hit rock bottom in order for you to desire change, okay? All you have to do is really understand yourself a little bit better, or understand what your goals are, as well as what you desire to do. If you're confused on your goals, or what you want to do here in life, then try something new, you know, try Googling things that might be interesting to you. Like, if you don't know what you want to do, you know, as a career, or this pandemic has changed your lifestyle completely. Maybe you lost your job, or you're not getting as much money as you wish you would, and you really want to make a change in that, then Google something that is interesting. Maybe going back to school will help you, or maybe, you know, going into a different career path will help, you know, whatever it is that you like to do, that you know that you could probably do for the rest of your life. I would focus on that. And you could even make a list of things that you like to do. Like, if you're really artistic, you like to draw, you like to sing, you like to dance, you like to help people, you know, things like that, then there are different jobs that you could get into with that stuff, you know, focusing on that in particular, okay? So that's what this is all about. It's surrendering to your desires, to your soul's calling here, okay? So that's all I have for you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week. Bye-bye.